Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Hey everyone, Chris Hansen here of Hansen vs. Predators and Catch Your Predator. Why don't you have a seat right over there and listen to Kyle and Brandon, our podcast. According to my chat logs, Kyle and Brandon have interesting guests.
No, I hated it.
Yeah.
Everybody's sweaty, everybody's on drugs, so they're super sweaty but also touchy, and then they touch your face, then you leave there, and the next day you have pimples.
Fantastic conversation.
He's underground in a lab, floating in a tank of water, because he almost died.
And most important, no predators.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Oh, hey, Internet, and welcome back to another episode of the Intoxicated Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and if you're brand new to Intoxicated, this is a comedy variety talk show where I shoot the shit with friends, comedians, and various guests about life, usually while drinking. And hello, everybody. How are you? It has been a while since I've done just kind of like a regular episode. So, welcome back to the podcast, and I hope you guys are all doing as well as you can be right now. Times are crazy, and I haven't really talked about what's going on the podcast yet, which is insane. A lot has happened in my life, and it's been a challenging, sad, depressing, stressful, anxiety-ridden time. I'm not gonna lie. It's been not great. But I'm kind of sort of getting to the point where I'm getting back into the swing of things, trying to, do some more stuff for the podcast and get back into it because it really does make me happy. And it's really important to do things that make you happy right now. So I have been sort of social distancing, self-isolating for almost 3 weeks. Tomorrow it will be 3 solid weeks of sort of staying in my apartment and not doing anything. And I'm going absolutely insane. And as you know, we had Andrew Vaughn pass away, which was a huge thing. I feel like I lost days there. There's days that I literally don't remember because it was just not even a day. It was probably spent sleeping and crying, and that was literally it. So it's been tough. But like I said, trying to get back to normal. So I hope if you're listening to this that you're doing okay, or as okay as you can be, at least. I know that it's hard to be 100% okay right now. Everything's kind of on pause. A lot of people are out of work. I myself, my job did end, not necessarily due to Corona, but I certainly am out of work and don't really know what's next. Have no idea. But I do take some comfort in knowing that I'm not the only one and we're kind of all in this together kind of thing. There is some level of comfort there, even though it's a small one, So I do want to say thank you so much, listeners, for sticking with me through these past couple of weeks. It has been not a good time, but I'm going to try my very best to keep up with the podcast, do some remote interviews with Zoom, and it is kind of scary and challenging because it totally takes away the vibe of my show. I usually hate recording remotely, but if I want to stick with this, I'm going to have to get used to it. So you will be getting episodes. I'm not stopping the podcast. I'm just going to have to get a little more creative about what to do for God knows how long. So there you go. But that being said, this week I do have a pre-recorded episode that was done weeks and weeks ago, before things got really crazy here. This week's guest is my friend Alva Marie Sparkles. She is a comedian here in Halifax. She is a very creative, talented person, and she's like a new friend of mine. I really love Alva. This interview is so amazing. I had so much fun with her. Couple just quick disclaimers about this episode. Like I said, it was recorded quite a while ago. I can't remember exactly when, but long before, people were sort of told to stay inside and everything like that. I think at this point it was starting to pick up, but it wasn't just quite as serious as it is now, obviously. So there is a moment in this episode where we talk about the coronavirus, and it does kind of seem like we're not taking it seriously. Just to let you guys know, this was in the past. Obviously, both of us now are taking it really seriously. So, but I just wanted to leave that disclaimer in case you hear it and you're like, this is serious. Why are they like, not taking this seriously? So just to let you know about that. The other thing I want to let you know is this is a really fun episode, but we do get into some deeper, darker subjects, including depression and suicide and disordered eating. So if you're at all sensitive to those subjects, just be aware that they do come up. I don't think that we say anything too crazy in regards to this, but I just want to let you guys know. If it makes you uncomfortable at all, just be aware of that. But seriously, I love this episode. I'm, listening to it back and editing it and sort of getting back into where I was before all this craziness was like really nice to do. Because pretty much this episode was going to come out, but then it got pushed back because of everything that happened. But this is kind of like a glimpse back at simpler times when you could podcast with guests right beside you. It's just insane to me that who knows like when people will get to do that again. It's crazy. So this could be like my last like in-person Intoxicated interview for like quite a while probably. So pretty nuts. But a big thank you to Alva Marie Sparkles for coming on. It was so great. I think you guys will love this. Another thing I want to mention is that I am streaming. So do make sure you check out the Intoxicated YouTube channel and Twitch channel. I have links below to those. Tonight, actually, we did a live debates live stream, and it was a shit ton of fun. So I'll probably be doing a lot more streaming. Best way to stay up to date with that is to obviously subscribe to those channels, whichever one you prefer, Twitch or YouTube, and follow Intoxicated on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Intoxicated Podcast, and on Twitter at @in_toxicated. And I post on there whenever a stream is happening. I've also been just kind of randomly streaming me playing The Sims, which is so completely random. But I had this theory that like if I'm going to be in quarantine for a while, I should just like rebuild my dream life through The Sims. And I did. I bought the game and I've been playing it, and I do stream it every now and then. So best place to find that is probably Twitch. That's kind of the more video game centric place to find those streams. But yeah, if you have suggestions for live streams or anything like that, or even episodes I could do, please send them my way, because like I've said, my brain has been through a lot and it's probably not as sharp as it once was. So you can actually pop me off an email at intoxicatedpodcast@gmail.com with any episode suggestions, stream suggestions, questions, comments, feedback, really just anything. You can reach out that way. Also, this is a great time for podcasts. So there's probably a lot of people wanting to get into new podcasts. A big thing you could do is suggest Intoxicated, tell your friends about it. And also, if you are digging the show, you can leave an iTunes rating or review. That would be amazing. Stuff like that 100% helps the podcast out. So thank you guys once again. And I truly hope you're well and healthy and just staying as sane as you can right now. So that's about it for me. Please enjoy this week's episode with Alva Marie Sparkles. Because are you a big geek nerd?
Like nerd? A little bit. Like, yeah? Honestly, for a long time, I avoided things like Comic-Con and like those sort of things because I felt like I wasn't nerdy enough. Right. And like people would be like, well, if you like Star Trek, what was the name of the planet in episode 46? I was like, I don't fucking know.
Who fucking knows that?
Yeah,
Jesus.
So like I've never been like a huge fanatic, but like I do like a lot of geeky stuff, like you know, like the superhero Star Trek, that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. No, that's more than I know. Like like with any girl who knows geeky things, I'm like, you instantly get more dick than me. Even if you just have a baseline of knowledge about it, like you're getting more dick. Bell is nowhere to be found. That makes me sad. I mean, they're not that expensive, but still, I'm just like, where is it? I shouldn't have taken it from its home. Yeah. I should have kept it here. I don't know.
And once you have like an iconic sound, like you don't want to replace it with a different one, because even if it sounds a little bit different, like it is kind of it's off.
It's very off. I should actually just record the sound of me dinging the bell
and just play it,
and then that would be the input in. sound kind of thing.
Yeah, that would work.
That would work. Where's the bell? I'm so sad. Okay, anyways, we're gonna plow on through.
Good level.
Yeah, you're good. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast. I'm so very excited. Alva Marie Sparkles is here.
Hey, what up, girl?
Might remember her from a few episodes ago.
Yeah. We talked about love and fingering and all the important things.
And tongue in cheek.
Yes. Which was awesome.
Oh,
and
my
thank you
God.
to everybody who went. It was a fantastic life. So good.
It was, we gotta just like get right into it because so Alva, you were on the episode you were with Adrian Gabriel, you were with Miss Shapen. Fucking who else was on that? I'm blanking. Tashina Latouche. Yeah, like we had a mega episode for that one.
Yeah.
And you guys pulled off your tongue-in-cheek show.
Yeah.
And oh my God, what an experience to be part of that. That was
so cool.
So amazing.
I'm really pleased with the way that it turned out. Like in retrospect, I think there's a lot of things that we could have done better, but like at the same time, like you got to take the win, right?
This is such a common thing. And I mean, this is a common thing in stand-up too. Like I find like if you try to compliment someone after a stand-up set, like they ain't taking compliments. They're thinking about the one way they said a certain word that didn't quite land. And I kind of fumbled on that word. And you like people watching the show or watching stand-up don't fucking see that at all. And I actually experienced it big time last night when I was watching my live show back. I was doing a reaction to the live show video and I go, holy shit, bitch, you look and sound like you get your shit together. And what a tornado it was right before. Like what a stressful tornado, but it's so interesting how in our heads we are.
Yeah. Well,
when you're so close to it. You're so close to it.
I did a show in Moncton a while ago that everybody told me was fucking like awesome.
Right.
And I just like, I was like, oh, like it was too short. I got nervous. I messed up like that one segue, blah, 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 blah. And then I listened to it like a month later and I was like, I did fucking awesome. And I messaged Carrie who had taken me to the show and I was like, I did really well on that show. And he was like, yeah, that's what I told you.
Right.
But like I didn't believe it until I actually like went back and like objectively looked at it afterwards. Yeah.
Yes.
And even if I'd listened to that recording like the next day, I probably still would have been like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah. You gotta almost let it breathe a bit.
Yeah. Because the audience doesn't know what you meant to do, right?
Fuck no, they don't. And I totally get that now. And it's so interesting because me and Alva were talking about this right before we press record about our friendship and how we're kind of new friends, like really fresh new friends, but we kind of collided around show production.
Yes.
Because like I think it was like either Kirsten or Adrian who mentioned the burlesque show, and then I met you at Beerley's finally because I had seen you around, but I never actually met you. Mm-hmm. And then we just kind of decided to help each other. Yeah. Which worked really, really well. Yeah. So I highly recommend if you have kind of almost like a partner in crime that can help you at the day of your show. It's so much helpful.
Better. Yeah. And even like if just even knowing that you have that support leading up to it too, like that was a huge thing because you were like, I'm stressed, and I'm like, I'm stressed, and we're like, girl, you got this, girl, you got this. Like,
it was so, and like I'm so grateful for both of you.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for you as well.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, like I wasn't really looking for a friend, but then it was just like we had so much in common. We were doing the same thing, and it was just like I felt instant support from you, and I just wanted to give it back tenfold. And
it works out so well, and then we'll keep helping each other with each other's shows going forward.
And I think we both have something that can grow and something that the scene wants and needs. And
yes, we both did fucking awesome shows. Both of us. It was within 2 weeks of each other, or like 1 week actually. Yeah. So your show was a Friday the 21st, and then mine was the next Friday. So we were just like in show mode. Yeah. And I remember too, like when your guys' show was over, and this is so interesting as well, because you did this to me and I did this to you. We both did the same thing to each other, which was at the end being like, congratulations, how happy are you? How happy are you? And like the person who ran the show is just like, I don't know what's going on.
Is it over? Is this real? Did I dream this?
Because I did that to you, and I remember like I knew that you were happy with it.
Yeah.
But we went out for a drink after, and I could tell that you were reeling. Yeah. But you were kind of taking it all in, and I was the same way with mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not until like a couple days later that you go, holy shit, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's insane. But like, yeah, it's interesting because you kept coming up to me after my show going, "Are you happy, Sarah? We want you to be happy." I was like, "I'm happy. I'm just so tired."
Yeah. Well, and you were exhausted, and it's exhausting producing a show, but like
so much.
You were so excited and you were so stressed out, and I wanted you to be so happy, and you were.
Yeah.
But it was just like you were a tired happy.
It's almost like you're in shock a bit. I feel like I do think it's like a shock thing because like you are legit happy, but like it's almost like your body can't catch up to like what's going on in your mind.
Well, and you spend so much time preparing, and when you're preparing a show, it feels like it's never actually coming, and then when it does, it's over so fast.
And when it's like the 2 days before, you're like, I only have 2 days. Fuck all this stuff that I have to do. So
yeah,
many lessons learned, but like such a cool experience to like kind of like become friends with you during that time. And then also like besides show stuff, like you just turned 30.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you had a little bit of a moment, which is like kind of to be like 30 is a big age. It's a round number. And I think as women, we put a lot on turning 30.
Yeah, like and it's so funny because anybody else in my life who's 30 or older, I would be like, "Oh, you're so young. Like I don't even like notice. Like why are you worried about this?" But then when it was me, I was like, and I just like, I don't know. I'm like, is my sex life over? Like, am I still going to be hot? And just like, I don't know. Like I always had a really hard time picturing my future. I've had a really long struggle with depression, and like I've had spouts of like suicide issues and things like that. And I honestly never thought I was going to be 30. And then it happened, and I was like, "What this? What am I supposed to do with it?
Does not compute."
Yeah,
didn't think would be here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that hit hard. What you just said. Well, because. Like, and I told you before this, I was like, I like to get deep on this podcast, but like, it's been tough. And I think they call it like the turn of Saturn in astrology or something like that. Like your late 20s into your 30s is like apparently a really rough time as like for personal shit.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I feel like I've been struggling with depression all my life.
Yeah, well,
but it's worse now.
The thing is, like, when you're like a teen, they're like, "Oh, you'll grow out of it," and then you're in your early 20s, and it's like, "Oh, you're just stressed out about school," and then in your mid 20s, they're like, "Oh, you just got to get your shit together," and it's like, okay, at what point is this just gonna stop? Because it seems like it's just getting worse.
I don't have my phone on me, but on the bus ride here today, I wrote in my phone, and it was just a thought I had, and I just went, "Why is it so hard for some people to find the best versions of themselves?"
Yeah, or like believe it when you start getting to it.
Why is it like it seems like with some people their life is just linear and they just live in like, dare I say, we all have our struggles that, you know, you might not show your friends, or you might not show social media, or you might not show the outside world. But sometimes you look at people and you just go like, you haven't really struggled too much. Like you just kind of sank into a job and found a partner, and things have been relatively easy. Like obviously there's other things, but but then there's other people who like just never seem to know what they're doing, and like working tons of jobs and like and always treading water almost. And that's how I feel too. Like you saying that you can't picture your future. That's exactly where I am right now too. Like I don't know what my future looks like. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for work. I don't know if I'm going to be with or have a partner. Like, it's so scary.
Yeah. Well, and like,
so scary.
I have a job right now that I like and that it's a good company, but I'm just like, is this a career or is this just like a thing I'm doing to get through the days? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't really want to do that as a career, but like, I also don't really want to do anything else. So I guess I'll just hang out.
Well, that's just it. And also too, like what I find so fascinating about people who do comedy, it's just like, is the goal, like for you, is the goal to do performing and comedy full time eventually, or do you think?
I don't think that's realistic. Like honestly, like if we're being real, 1% of people end up making it, and who wouldn't want a career where you just go around and travel and make people laugh?
Right.
But like I'm a very logical person, and I don't know if that's necessarily the path for me. And if I can make some money here and there, I'm happy with that. I mean, if somebody offered, if Netflix was like, "Hey, want to do this special?" I wouldn't be like, fuck off. I have a job in insurance.
I get massages on my lunch break.
Yeah.
Netflix special. bitch.
Yeah.
I get that though. No, do you think? Ooh, now we're gonna get really deep. Do you think that's a defense mechanism in a weird way? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just kind of not, because I looked it up recently. I wish I had my phone on me. I looked up a phobia that was like fear of disappointment or like fear of hope. Like, because I always think, I'm like, when I get excited about something, I instantly get terrified because I'm like, I'm about to be let down. Yeah. This isn't gonna work out. This is gonna let me down. Don't get excited. Assume it's not gonna work out. Yeah. And then other people like are so optimistic and and then like, you know, there's the whole secret thing, which is like, just think of it.
Oh my
God,
and it'll
come to you.
That bullshit.
And it's just like, how the fuck will it just come to me? I've been thinking about love for 8 years.
Yeah.
No one's loved me in these 8 years.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned love, because like when I met my partner, I was so convinced that I wasn't good enough for him. Because I loved him so much. I broke up with him 2 or 3 times because I'm like, I'm going to break up with you before you break up with me.
Did you really?
Yeah. And I mean, like, obviously we got back together. We put a ring on it now. We're good. But like, I was so terrified of like being disappointed and him dumping me that I was like, I'm just going to do it first. You know what I mean? And
did he like fight his way? Like, so when he fought his way back?
You're being silly. Come back home.
But that's the thing. Like, you met someone who was your perfect counterpart at that time to see your insecurities and fight past them. Yeah. Whereas, like, some people would just run away. Yeah. Or just be like, I'm done. Too much work.
Yeah. Like, he definitely gets me.
Which is awesome.
Which is cool. Yeah. And I just sometimes I feel like damaged goods, but I mean, I guess everybody is, and you just need somebody who knows how to handle your particular brand of damage.
Yes, you need someone with good packaging skills. Yes, who can wrap it up.
Just saying.
That helps too.
It does.
And so your current, like, am I saying husband, hubby, partner?
Like, we're not legally married, right? But we say partner, we say husband, we say wife, whatever feels good in the moment.
How long have you guys been together?
About 5 years.
Wow, 5.
Yeah, so I moved here for him.
Right.
And that was about 3, almost 4 years ago.
Wow, leap of faith.
Yeah.
How long were you together when you decided to move here for him?
Like a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Contemplated, and I was like, if I say no, are you still gonna go? And he was like, no. And I was like, don't put that pressure on me. Not fair.
I feel like I'm such a hopeless romantic that I would 100% move somewhere for somebody.
Yeah,
like,
see, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I would never do that, but then it was just, I couldn't let him go. Had to get us happy.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about relationships. I gotta get someone like to that point before I'm like, I can't let you go.
Yeah.
I'm a big time love addict, so it's something about myself that I've realized in my 30s.
Yeah, well, and I'm very much a serial monogamist, and like I was married when I was very, very young and went through a divorce, and
crazy.
So like it's really weird that I'm 30 and I'm on my second husband. Like, and like when I hear that, it's
honestly
so
though
terrible.
Goals though. No, I don't think that sounds terrible at all. I think that sounds like someone who you made a decision, and how old were you when you first got married?
Like 20, 21?
So early 20s.
Yeah.
You were early 20s, like probably so in love, and you were probably just like, this is my person.
Yeah, well, and like I grew up really fast. I was like emancipated when I was like 15. So like we had already been living together for like 6 years at that point.
Wow.
It wasn't like we were like, fresh.
Right. So you felt ready.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I feel like I was more mature at that stage of my life than I am now.
Really?
Yeah, and I had my shit together back then. Like I had a house, I had a car, I had a really, really good job. My house was immaculate and perfectly decorated. Like I was just one of those like perfect little bitches.
Really?
And then that fell apart, and then I lost hope for a really long time. And then like I feel like now I'm doing it the second time around. Like I have the fixer-upper house, I have the husband, I have the dog, and I'm just so terrified this time around. Like I'm just like so afraid to like believe that it's real. You know what I mean? Which I mean, it's good to be more realistic about it for sure. But like I've definitely gone too far in the other direction where I'm just like, this is gonna blow up any second. You know, like I'm carrying like a ticking package around with me.
It's so funny that you say that like you're doing it the second time you're scared.
Yeah.
This is a weird comparison, but Katy Perry's new song. Katy Perry's new song is called Never Worn White because she was married before to Russell Brand.
Yes.
And she wore a dove gray wedding dress. So she wrote this song about like, I really want to commit, but I'm terrified because it didn't work out the first time, and I'm like doing it the second time now, and like I love you so much, but I'm scared. Like it's just an interesting song because it's kind of the same kind of idea. You should listen to the lyrics. Like it's a beautiful song. Like it's actually like a great love song because it's honest.
Yes,
it's talking about fear.
Yeah.
And
which
like,
is what love is in your 30s. Let's be real.
See, and me, like that's so weird that you say that because like and I'm making a statement. This is my official statement on the podcast. I don't want to like anyone for a long time. I've decided, and it's as a love addict, that's a huge thing to say because there's so many people I could like.
Yes.
And I'm not going to because I've given my heart far too easily to guys that I'm not even dating. Guys that don't feel the same.
Yeah.
And I'm taking that fucking heart, which is awesome and great for other things.
Yes.
And I'm putting it in a really nice bird cage, you know. Like it's going to be like locked up like in style. Like
yeah, like in the penthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be locked up for a bit cuz I don't know, this last heartbreak, I was just like I can't do this again. Like the next time I get like heartbroken, I want it to be from an actual relationship, like an actual breakup, not someone who I loved and just didn't love me back. Because when you go so long loving people who don't love you back, literally your heart is like, I think I'm done.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to feel this like, and I love. Like I'm deep down such a romantic.
Yeah, I can tell that.
And I want it so bad, and I know I deserve it, but I can't do it right now.
Yeah. Well,
it's too banged up.
I've always, like, I've never really pined over somebody or had, like, a crush on somebody because I think it's a self-defense mechanism. Like, the amount of time between me deciding I like somebody and me telling them is, like, 30 seconds.
Really?
Like, I just want to, like, I'm going to tell you right now, and if you don't feel the same, I'm going to do it, like, get rejected before I'm invested.
No, that's a great approach.
Well,
it is great because you don't get in too deep then.
Yeah, it is, but like it also, I'm into like really like nerdy dudes, like really like low key, like opposite of me kind of people. Yeah. So generally what happened in those situations is like I'd be like, hey, I like you, and he'd be terrified. And then he'd like avoid me for a while, and then like a week later they come back and they're like, hey, so like were you serious? And I'm like, yeah, dude. And
like that's the thing. Actually, I go for nerdy.
Yeah,
more chill guys.
Well, it's funny when I date women, like I like really like bossy, like strong, borderline bitches.
Oh, like boss bitches.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh. But when I date men, like I just really like that more like hit up a D&D game and see who's afraid to make eye contact with me.
Interesting. Holy shit. Because I always think of things. There's this book, and I've mentioned this book on the podcast before. There's a book called Getting to I Do, which is like an old self-help book from the 90s. It's a terrible title. Fucking terrible. And it's it's very heteronormative the way she talks about relationships, but she talks about energy and how it's masculine, feminine energy. It's not so much gender, it's energy, and how a perfect relationship is the mixture of both. Yeah. So like you're either the feminine or the masculine in a relationship. Yeah. And you can't have both because it just wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. So I always think about that where I'm like, I need masculine energy. Like I'm very masculine, I would say like, we're like in my career and my personality, my friends, like I'm kind of more aggressive. Yeah. But in romantic situations, I want to be the feminine. Mm-hmm. Like I need someone to take control. Fair. A bit. Do you think you know what you would be in a relationship if you're more?
I'm the masculine.
Are you really?
I'm a dom. I need a sub.
Yes. Sure. I can totally see you as a dom. Like literally see you. Like I can picture it right now, and I love it. I find it so fascinating. I like relationships and how that all works, and dynamics.
And, like, sometimes, like, with my partner, like, we're so different that I'm like, how the fuck does this work? You know, like, this is so weird. Like, how did these two people end up together? And that's exactly why we ended up together, is because we are so different.
You are so different.
Yeah. We're like yin and yang, like, really. Like,
and it's weird when you see, because, like, I will see couples from time to time where I'm just like, holy shit, like, this guy says nothing. Like, he's so quiet.
Yeah.
And he's with this girl who's like this, like, really talkative, chatty, outgoing.
That's us.
and that's what I am too. And I'm just like, I think I need someone who's not quite my exact opposite, but, like, still less than.
Yeah.
Less than me. Like, but I need you to talk a bit, because quiet guys, I can't get turned on by a quiet dude.
Fair enough.
You gotta fucking talk.
A lot of female comics struggle with, like, they don't want to date a guy funnier than them. Like,
fuck
off with that shit.
Okay, I have a question to ask you. I ask a lot of female comedians this. Dating other comedians. Yay or nay?
I think it's...
State your case.
I think it gets too messy too easily.
Yeah.
I think that it's not something you should seek out.
Right.
But I think if you have a connection with somebody, you have a connection with somebody. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they say, like, what? Like, 40% of people or more than that meet their spouse at work. Like, we see each other all the time. Statistically, some of us are going to bang. Like,
that's very true. So why would it be different in comedy?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think because we talk so much about ourselves, and much of comedy is talking about relationships and sex, that does add an additional layer.
It does.
But that doesn't mean you can't make it work.
I would agree. I don't like people who are just like, no, you can't do it. I'm like, there's a lot of advantages to doing it. Like, you have someone who kind of understands you, understands the lifestyle,
yes,
appreciates it, and you could probably set boundaries within that relationship to, like, keep it.
And I think there's also, like, a sexist angle when people say, like, you shouldn't date comics. I think it's part of it is people trying to be like, well, you can't, like, a female comic can't be flirty and also expect to be respected.
Right.
And, like, that's bullshit.
Oh, I hate that.
And, like, I wouldn't say that's prevalent, particularly in Halifax. Like, Halifax is great for gender equality in comedy. Like, well done, Halifax. But, like, in other places that I've seen it, and just, like, as a general, like, social media kind of thing, I think that's definitely part of it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there still should be more female, there should still be more women trying comedy.
Yeah.
And I don't know I think we had this talk right before your live show about women in comedy and why we think there's a weird barrier to entry there.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me, because you see a ladies' night at Oasis and you go, holy shit!
Yeah, where were you?
Whoa! And then you don't usually see, I would say, half of those women until the next ladies' night. Yeah. And it's, I think, just fucking do more mics. Keep coming out.
Yeah, well, and
ride the roller coaster.
Obviously, everybody is different, and, like, nobody is, like, one gender completely or the other. But, like, what I've kind of noticed is women tend to like to do a lot of the work off of the stage, like get together and write and, like, study comedy and, like, you know, sit down with a notebook, whereas, like, a lot of the guys are just like mic, and
they might not have the actual quality material, but they're getting up there and getting stage presence.
Yeah, and I think they're both equally valid. Ideally, you would do both, but most of us have to have full-time jobs, so you can't. But ideally you do both, and, like, one's not more valid than the other, but it is harder to build a name for yourself if most of the work you're doing is behind the scenes.
Right.
Like, if people aren't seeing your face and your name, you might be getting miles better every week, but like, until you go back out there, nobody's gonna see
no one will know it.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's such a good point. I hadn't even thought of it that way. Like, that they do more behind the scenes work.
Yeah, well,
but also very true for women in general. Like, like, you know, like, politicians' wives. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's just kind of how the world works still, unfortunately. But
frig. What, how did you, I hate asking this stereotypical question, but how did you get in? What was your start? What made you decide to do comedy?
Well, I, after my divorce, took off to New Zealand because I was just like, fuck this.
Did you do an Eat, Pray, Love moment? Like, where you're just like, I need to go on a trip?
Before that came out, but I was like, literally, what is the furthest place I can go? And they were like, New Zealand. And I was like, cool, bye.
Really?
So, like, got rid of everything. Like, I went to the women's shelter literally with 3 carloads of just shit. I gave away everything.
Shut the fuck up. So you just had this moment of, I'm starting over.
Yeah.
So was this trip meant to be a new beginning, or was it like a palate cleanser? Like, did you want to do an adventure just to like kind of have fun and get out of your life, or were you moving to New Zealand to make a life there?
I didn't really know. I was going to figure that out when I got there.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, like I didn't know if I was just going to continue traveling country to country every year, if I was going to settle down there, if I was going to come back. Like I really had no plan.
No idea.
And then I ended up falling in with this backpackers group, and one of the girls was a comedian from LA. She like actually went to comedy school, and I went to one of her shows, and she was freaking hilarious. Like she's just this little thing. She looks exactly like Dora the Explorer. And she was like talking about like getting face fucked and all this stuff.
What an image.
Yeah. Like I'll never forget, she took the mic and like dangled it in front of her face, and she was like, shut up and hit me with your cup. Oh my God. And then so I started kind of hanging around the comedy scene, and then there was this girl that I was very interested in, and I was like, I can't just like creepily hang out around you, so I guess I'll pretend that I'm into comedy. So like I did it like intentionally to try to impress her.
Shut up.
And I'll never forget the night of my first set. I got off stage, and as I was getting off, a guy was asking her out, and I was just like,
What was the show like? Was it a big show or like?
Like it was a basement bar show, but it was the hostels came to the shows, and because it was very popular with backpackers. So there was like 20 audience members, which is like decent for comedy.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. It was a really fun show, and like I did really, really well. I think because I was people that I knew, and it was a bar that I went to. It was also a gay bar, and this was before I was out, and like they were like trying to like push me out that little closet because it was.
Were they really?
Yeah. Well, I thought I was being so subtle about my crush on this girl, and everybody was like, "No, like you're so obvious."
What are your telltale signs that you're like into somebody?
Like initiating a conversation and then getting nervous and walking away.
Ding. If my bell was here, I would ding it.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel that hard. You go in all out, and then you're like, I had no plan for after this. Bye.
And telling like my one good story, and then being like, I'll come back when I think of something else impressive.
That's so funny.
Well, it is funny because we ended up hooking up months later.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because she ended up dating that guy for quite a bit, and then he went back home to the UK, and then he cheated on her, and then it was a whole thing.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
this is a movie. Like just the idea that you did your first stand-up set, you had your eyes on her, and then you walk off, like that image of you walking off stage and seeing her like with another guy, and that like heart in the stomach moment.
Yeah.
And then to know that like months later you hooked up.
Yeah.
That's
like,
so cool. What's the story?
It is like a script.
I want to watch this movie.
Yeah. But she still does stand up. She's very, very good at it. Yeah.
Oh
she's released some stuff recently. She's very good.
And what's the scene in New Zealand like for comedy?
Very collaborative.
Yeah.
Very supportive, very collaborative. It's so funny. Like I did so well there because everybody was like, your accent is so sexy. And I'm like, really? Are you sure?
Are you sure? It's just different. That's why you think it's sexy.
Well, and I'd just be like, ice hockey. And they'd be like, like
ice hockey.
Well, yeah, it was very easy for me there because I was different and I stood out immediately.
Right.
And then when I came back and I tried to do comedy in Calgary, and I was like, cool. I look like every other girl here.
Right.
I sound like every other girl. There was actually a girl that I used to get confused for who was actually my partner's ex.
Really?
Because like we both had like just dressed in bright colors, had like a dirty sense of humor.
Yeah.
And we're doing the same open mics. Yeah.
Oh shit. Were you intimidated by her?
Yeah.
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 So we were talking also about before this about being intimidated by other females and how we deal with that. And it's definitely an issue for me. I've gone to psychic readings where they're like, you don't like other women. Like you have issues with other women. And I'm like, man, like, I feel like I'm a girl's girl. Like, I feel like I'm such a, like, I like love supporting my female friends. But when I do get intimidated, it's this really weird, I used to like be really reactive to it and like, you know, kind of mean about it. But now I have to make this effort to be like, no.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Well,
support. You're intimidated by someone? ask them out for coffee, learn about how they did it.
Yeah, because they're probably killing it, and that's why you're feeling that
and
way.
That's the biggest piece of advice that I would give any woman who feels less than because of another woman, rather than not liking her for it or going to a negative space in your mind where you're like, I'm not fucking good enough, I'm a piece of shit, look, she's killing it, like, look how much better she is. Ask her for coffee.
Yeah.
Learn from them.
Time.
Ooh,
when I first saw you, I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You just like waltzed right into the comedy club, sat down with the comics, and just like started unpacking your equipment. And I was like, who the fuck is this? And then I listened to a couple of your podcasts, and I was like, oh, like, she's quite charming. Like, she's good. Like, I can understand why she was sitting with the comics now. It all makes sense. And then when I was coming over to record the first podcast we did together, I said to my husband, I was like, I'm really nervous. And he was like, about like being on mic. And I was like, no, that's fine. I'm like nervous to like hang out with Sarah. He's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. She's skinny. She has a podcast. I don't know. But it's so weird because like now we're friends, and it's just like, and then like the first real conversation we had, you were like, I am so self-conscious. And I was like, thank fuck.
Well, and you sent me such a nice, well, okay, well, there's two things here, because it's the body thing is, it's so funny that you said skinny, because I do not consider myself skinny.
You're skinnier than
me. But we've talked about the body image issues thing and how deeply personal it is and how fucking terrible it is. I'm like, I gotta admit, guys, like I'm feel comfortable with you, so I'll say this. Like, I went through like the month leading up to the live show, I was really like hating everything, really nervous, like, oh, I'm doing this show, I'm gonna be on stage, like everyone's gonna be looking at me. Like, I legit like said I was intermittent fasting, but it was like
starving yourself a little bit.
It was like legit probably some disordered eating happening there. And I recognized that it was. And so like I'm not doing that anymore.
Good.
But I realized that I had a problem when I would skip a meal and I would go, yes.
Yeah.
And it was this weird like reward system in my brain.
And you're like, no.
And my brain went, you just scored a point. You skipped a meal. And I just went, this is insane. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
And literally like all that did was made me like, after I kind of was done with the live show, I literally ate so much shit. I overate. Like, it was this really weird, like, I deprived myself so much, and so now I'm just going to eat all the pizza and all the ice cream.
Starve and binge.
And I was just like,
a lot of women do that.
It was so insane. And like, it's one of those things that I have to just remind myself, eat food. Eat fucking food. You're hungry. You love eating. You love the way you feel when you eat. Why are you eating? Because you're not going to lose, like, I'm not going to lose 20 pounds tomorrow.
Exactly. And that was the thing, too, for our show. Like, because I took my titties out. Like,
yes, you did.
I showed a lot more of my body than I normally do. And I was really self-conscious about that as well. And I had to just be like, look, this is what your body looks like. It's not going to look any different by the show. Like, just... This is what you have to work with. Deal with it.
It's I think people are saying, rather than saying body positivity, it's body acceptance.
Yes. Yeah.
So you might not like fully love it.
Yeah.
But you need to accept it. And Demi Lovato said this too, because she's been through some fucking lots of eating disorders and stuff. I'd love to do a whole episode about eating disorders, just because like what I experienced recently was probably the closest I've ever came to what I would consider that. And that was just me going... And I snapped myself out of it really quick. And hopefully I won't go back there. But it's hard when you're...
do that, you know?
It's hard when you're a performer. And then you see pictures of yourself. And you see video footage, and then you have to be faced with it. Yeah. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting to me that you were that you were nervous to come talk to me, because it's like when I saw you on stage, I was just like, I wish I could do that. Because that to me was confidence.
Yeah.
Because you were not only like, were you like looking amazing? I still have pictures, by the way, I have to send you.
Nice.
But like you were having fun.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing about it. You looked like you were having a good time.
Well, it's so funny, the things that we notice in other women that we haven't seen ourselves.
This is what this episode is about. We're both just like, I love you more. Yeah, no, but it's insane. But we have to remember that.
Yeah.
And stop assuming that we're automatically less than.
Yeah, and I've started doing this thing where I'm beating myself up to just be like, okay, if a friend of yours did this, what would you say to her?
Would
you be like, hey, you're a fucking dumbass? Or would you be like, hey, like, you know, like, you screwed up, but, like, still believe in you, you're fine. Like,
yeah, exactly. We are way more mean to ourselves than we are to, like, our friends.
Yeah.
And it's the negative self-talk. Oof.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Yeah, and I've been going to therapy for the past few months.
Jealous.
And it's been really, really good. And I've had therapists in the past that just, like, want to talk about my childhood and, like, deep dive into, like, my psychological issues. And then they're like, surprise, you have abandonment issues. And I'm like, bitch, I know that.
Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, so, like, this therapist was very, like, solution focused. And, like,
I love that.
More, like, exercises and, like, reframing and stuff like that. So, like, I've been working a lot at just being reframing things, and it seemed really, really silly and dumb when I first started doing it, but it honestly does help.
Right.
Because I'm the worst for, like, handing my husband, like, a plate of dinner and being like, hope this doesn't suck, or just being like, can I get your opinion on this? I hope it's not terrible. And just like framing that to be like, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know if you think this is good. You know, just those little things, because they really add up.
And like how you actually talk.
Yeah.
And phrase things.
Yeah.
Using, like, I even did it on stage at the live show, and Robbie called me out on stage for it. He's like, stop saying that. Like, I think I said something like, I think this is gonna be a great show. And Robbie's like, it is gonna be a great show. Like, what? and it's just like little things like that. And like, I remember being in that moment and being like, because Matt Baker was like, you just gotta be, like, you gotta fake it till you make it. Like, just be confident, even if you're not. And I'm like,
Especially
I agree.
As a host,
I agree with that, but I also, like, in my mind, I'm like, if people are there and they've listened to the show and they know that I'm vulnerable, I have a lot of insecurities. Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna be that on stage because that's the person that they know.
Yeah,
they know me as having a lot of insecurities. Like, really, do you find that being open about your insecurities is like a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think that it makes you more human. I think that it helps friendships build.
Yeah.
And I think it makes you be at peace with them, or at least face them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I used to just pretend that I was confident, and maybe there's some merit to that because you give off a very confident vibe, but like I never felt authentic.
Yeah. And I think I value authenticity more.
Yeah.
I think I do. Like, I think I'd rather be, like, actually true to myself than fake it. Faking it feels weird to me.
Yeah, and like I've had people tell me that I'm too honest or I'm too blunt, but like, fuck that. Like, if
who the fuck tells you that?
Oh, just randos and stuff, like acquaintances. But it's like, you know what? If I'd rather put that out in the world, and then if you want to be my friend or you want to be in my life, you already know that. You know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather that than just like, I feel like sometimes I go to a party and like there's a bunch of bodies and they're all the same person. You know what I mean? Because nobody's really showing any of themselves.
I would agree. I would fucking agree.
And that drives me crazy. Like, just like, even if you're fucked up or you have insecurities or whatever, like, just give me something.
I know, and I am very known to, like, I love skipping small talk with people.
Which is why your podcast is successful. Is because,
it's just getting right to it. It's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. What's your mental illness? What's your trauma? Because it's weird. Like, when I started being really open and honest about shit, I started losing friends. And it's weird because I've gained friends.
Yes.
But I've
friends.
Lost some too.
Yeah, me too.
And that's a hard, like, friendship. Give me a romantic breakup any day. A friendship breakup is way harder, I think, personally.
Depends, yeah.
It depends. When that person is both.
Yeah.
That's when it's your best friend and your lover. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's because then you have to get over them in two separate ways. You got to get over, like, the romantic aspect, and then you also have to get over the friendship.
Yeah.
And I usually, for me, it's like I always get over the romantic part first, and then I just fucking miss the person.
Yeah.
Like their presence, like talking to them and shit. And it's tough because it's like a part of me wants to, like, try to make amends with people.
Yeah.
Because I miss them.
But at the same time, you're like, there's a reason why we're not talking. Yeah. One, I mean, like, it's no secret that I have mommy issues, and sometimes people will be like,
I have mommy issues too.
I haven't seen her. Well, I saw her at my brother's wedding, and that was the first time in many, many years. And like, people have said to me, like, you should try to, like, now that you're an adult, like, reconnect with your mom. And I'm like, she treats me like shit and she makes me feel awful. Like, I don't hate her. I don't think she's a monster. She's a person who did the best she can, which was not very good. But like, I don't want to waste time hating her, but at the same time, I'm not going to put myself through that when I know there's nothing in it for me.
Ooh,
you know,
that's good though that you realize that.
Yeah, like, it's just, I don't.
Your mommy issues seem way worse than mine. I was thinking, I'm like, I just have a mom that's really judgmental and probably is why I think I'm fat all the time. But yeah, no, I've seen her way more than you. That, like, I see her all the time.
But that's hard too, and I almost think that's a different kind of hard.
It's a different kind of hard.
If you do have like a good relationship with your mom and then you're always seeking her approval,
yeah,
that's completely different. Because like with my mom, I don't give a fuck if she approves of me. Like,
right.
It's almost like I would revel in failing just to be like, look at what a bad job you did. Like,
this is your fault.
Yeah. Like, I make a joke in stand-ups saying that the level of disappointment that my mother has in me has cost me hundreds of dollars in pink hair dye. And she does genuinely hate this.
It's kind of like a little bit of an act of like rebellion a little bit. Yeah. But also it looks so good on you.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, I love that.
I like started doing bright colors way before they were trendy, and I did like that red that you can get away with in the office.
Oh yes,
and then
okay.
I started
Work
going
appropriate
brighter, brighter, and now I just there's no going back. Like, when it starts to fade, I'm like, who's this person? Yeah,
this is
and
like the color of your
so
soul.
Much better, yeah. Well, and it's the bi pride flag, which is part of it. But like, also, I feel more comfortable when I'm colorful. I don't know why.
Oh, I love that. That's a great quote.
Comfortable color.
I like. I feel most comfortable in neon. Like when I wear like a neon color, I'm like, yeah, my chakra changed when I put this on.
I'm rocking this.
Yeah, I like that. I love neon. When did you, back to the bi thing, when did that, so you said that you went to New Zealand, you weren't quite out.
Yes.
So when did you start kind of realizing that might be a thing for you?
When I met that comedian.
Was it that moment, like that kind of era? Yeah. Interesting.
And it's funny because by the end of my time in New Zealand, I was like pretty comfortably out. I was talking about it, doing stand-up, all that kind of stuff. And I came back home and I kind of forgot that I didn't come out to anybody. And we were out at the bar. It was like my birthday, like a month later. Or no, it wasn't even my birthday. It was like my coming home party or something. Like, it was very fresh afterwards. And my friends got me very drunk because they hadn't seen me in a year. And I just started making out with this girl at the bar. And they were all like, what happened? And they like ended up pulling me off of her and being like, hey, like, this girl wants to take you home. Like, we didn't know if we should let her. Like, are you just really drunk? Like, what's going on? And I had to be like, oh, I forgot to tell you.
Oh my God, I can only imagine what those friends were saying.
They're like, oh no, too much vodka. And I'm just like, I'm good.
So what was the coming out process like for you?
Well, after that, that was kind of like my close friends. And then a few months later, I started working at the theater and I met a lot more queer people. I started building like my queer circle, and then I started my YouTube channel, Not So Straight Talk, and I didn't think anybody would watch it, right? So I came out on that, and I wasn't like, my name is Alva and I'm bisexual, but I just started like talking about it.
Is it still up?
No, and that's a whole other story. But I didn't think anybody would watch it. And then I woke up in the morning and it had like hundreds of views. And my family members were like, what the fuck? And I was just like,
So did they find it?
Yeah, like,
they found the video.
Yeah, like a lot of people I did not think would see it, like my high school friends, and like.
Did it have your real name attached to it?
Well, it had Alva Marie Sparkles, but that's close enough. That,
right.
Like, Alva is a pretty uncommon first name. Like, they knew it was me.
Holy shit! So you kind of put it out. It's interesting. The idea of YouTube and content creation, and how I was trying to explain this to a friend recently. Because I kind of told myself that I might try to like go off social media, and I'm met with a lot of doubt, which is understandable because I'm addicted to it. But I was talking about how when you're kind of going through things and you might not have like a close friend to really like connect with, the internet becomes your friend in a weird fucking way.
Because you find other people who are going through similar things, and then you share the love, and then you feel weirdly connected to these people you've never met.
Though you're disconnected. Like you're connected but disconnected.
Yeah, well,
physically.
with the bi thing, like, I think I kind of just forgot to keep pretending. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was
That's
just
natural,
like, yeah, like, I was just like, I got comfortable enough with myself that I just, like, started acting like myself.
Right.
And, like, so much has come out of that.
Right.
Like, the fact that I did a burlesque show shocked everybody I went to high school with. Like, I used to be such a prude. I slut-shamed women all the time. Yeah,
Whoa.
I was awful because, like, I didn't want to face the reason why I was uncomfortable with women being sexual and, you know,
Because you wanted to be that.
Yeah, is because I was like, oh, I'm both jealous and attracted to you, and I don't like these feelings, so I'm just gonna be real mean to you.
Wow.
Yeah, so, like, it was very much a show of growth for me, I think.
Holy
like going
shit.
from that and like having queer shows. Like, I've done a number of pride shows as well, and just like I feel like stand up for me has really become a way to like help me be myself.
Aw,
and then it kind of like trickles down to my real life.
Right.
Because once you say it on stage, it's hard to hide it the rest
Yeah.
of the time, you know?
It's out there.
Like, yeah.
You say it out loud, you put it out there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's so interesting to me that you were so different, like, back in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, like,
So
could you
you
imagine me being like a slut shamer?
No.
Like,
Not at all. Wow, that's cool. But I mean, I was kind of prudish too. I didn't drink until I was like just before I turned 19.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I was very much so like, I don't need to drink to have fun. I can listen to Mush Dance 2000 and drink Pepsi.
I started drinking real young.
Did you really? When?
Oh, yeah.
When?
I think I was about like 12, maybe.
Holy shit!
Me and one of my brothers went and saw my two sisters in Edmonton. We took a bus by ourselves, which I now realize was also kind of fucked up. And we got there.
Holy fuck! At 12?
Yeah.
Jesus!
And they were acting really, really weird. And they were like, "We got you some juice," and we're like, "Okay, thanks, I guess."
Chug, chug, chug.
Yeah, and we sat down. And they like served us dinner and they're like, "Here's your juice, drink it slow." And we're like, "Okay." And I remember I was sitting there and they had this painting of a wolf, and all of a sudden the wolf was just like blurred, and we were like, "Ooh." And then one of my older brothers, who was older than these two sisters, came, and he was so mad at them for getting us drunk, and he threw a huge fit.
Do you remember it tasting like booze?
No, I think it was like a Smirnoff Ice or something. Like,
okay, like
really,
a cooler,
really sugary.
like a sugary cooler. Ugh. Oh my god! Did you get sick? Do you remember?
No, I didn't puke or anything, but like
But
I
you
was
felt
definitely real weird. Like, me and my brother were just like pushing each other and then like falling over and laughing and then getting up and pushing each other.
Holy fuck! And then did you continue to drink like underage, or did you?
Yeah.
Most people did. That's the thing. Like I say it, I'm like, yeah, most people have these like early experiences with booze. I was just like such a goody two shoes back then.
Yeah.
So weird, and now here I am with a podcast.
You're catching up.
about drinking. What kind of? Okay, so I don't know if you and I have ever been drunk together. Have we? No, not drunk.
No.
What kind of drunk are you?
Cuddly.
Really?
Cuddly as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm very, very physically affectionate when I'm drunk.
I love that.
And that's also kind of one of the things that's gotten harder for me as I'm getting older, and I think that's part of like my turning 30 conniption, is because like when I was 23 and a size 0 and a redhead, people loved to get me drunk and get me all over them and all that kind of stuff. And now people are like, "You should stop touching people." You know, like it's definitely a different vibe. And part of that is because I'm also in a committed relationship, and people are like, "Should you really be doing this?"
Right.
But I mean, like, it's not sexual.
No.
It's not a sexual thing. Like, I just want to like hug you and maybe give you a kiss on the cheek, but I don't want to like fuck anybody. It's just
You're gonna
like
have a harder time with that now with the coronavirus going around. You think it was hard that you thought it was hard before, girl? Yeah. You're gonna have trouble now. The world's insane right now.
Oh, it's so weird.
It's insane
well,
right
like,
now.
How many of these viruses have we been through?
Yeah.
And they're always blown out of proportion. And yes, we should be careful.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, it's hysteria.
Yeah, it is. I keep getting emails from I just got an email before you came over from Cineplex being like, our approach to the coronavirus, like talking about what they're doing at theaters. And when I got the email, I was like, if the theaters are closing, it's the world's ending. Like we're like theaters stay open at Christmas time. They stay open during snowstorms. Like they never close. Yeah. If the theaters start closing, we're fucked. Yeah. But they were just talking about like, oh, like here are the precautions. Like here's what we're doing to like. I'm like, that's fair, but like, holy smokes.
Well, because
everyone's going nuts here.
And I think it's less about like the company CEOs being legitimately worried about spreading the disease and more just like calming hysteria.
Yeah, like we have to do it to like calm everybody.
Good news is flights are super fucking cheap right now.
Are they really? I hadn't even. That's such a good idea. Let's go on a trip. Let's go back to New Zealand.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh my god, I'd love to go to New Zealand.
It's wonderful. Like I would love to go back there to retire. Like it's wonderful.
Ooh, so now you're picturing your future.
Yeah. You said there we go.
You said you couldn't picture it, but
throw some palm trees in there, and I'm good to go.
Are you someone who like is traveling? Like around like a big priority for you, do you think? Or?
It used to be, but then like honestly after I met my partner I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I'll just stay here with you.
Yeah, especially now that you have the house.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. The house thing is interesting. I keep thinking about houses lately. I've been starting to like look at houses and just be like, maybe one day. Because you know, like you have a house, Adrian has a house. I was talking to my friend Vern, shout out Vern, he listens to most episodes, so shout out to Vern, my friend Vern, who like has inspired me so much because he like paid down his debt and he's like now thinking about buying a house, not like jumping into it, but he's like, you know, in the next year I might buy one. I was just like, this gives me hope because you're a single person who like somehow, you know, you got your shit together and now you're saving for a house. Like I just can't fathom that level of having your shit together.
Like that's the thing, I don't. My partner does. And like we struggle with this so much because he makes so much more than I do. Like 4 times as much as I do.
Right.
But like I'm a very like feminist person, I guess. Like I'm just like I need to contribute. Like I'm not getting a free ride here.
Right.
Like I pay a lump sum of the mortgage every month. It's not quite half, but it's you know,
it shouldn't be half.
Yeah, because there's but like he recently bought a pasta maker, which is like $450 usually, and he got it on sale, but it was probably still like $200.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, can I afford bus tickets? And there's just like this weird disconnect in our relationship.
That would be challenging.
Yeah, and like I've dated actually a lot of men who were financially well off because I think they're very drawn to the fact that I don't want them to pay for my shit. You know?
Right.
Like, if you want to impress a rich guy, offer to pay for dinner. Like, because they're so sick of girls just, like, wanting to go out with them and being like, buy me your earrings, you know?
By the way, your baby voice is, like, my favorite. Like, when you do the baby voice joke, that's my favorite joke of yours. I literally cannot help but laugh when you... can you do it for us right now? Can you?
Dirty little twirl.
It's so we were talking today, oddly enough, at work about sugar daddies, and just the idea of like you know letting a guy spoil you and like all this, and I'm just like I find it so icky.
Yeah,
there's something icky and not hot about it.
It's just prostituting.
Like, there should be more, I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I don't necessarily need a partner, obviously, that is in the same financial boat as myself. But, like, I do need to feel like I'm being useful.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And women, I mean, we put out so much emotional labor. We should start charging for that. Put a dollar amount. Like, oh, well, I only paid this much for rent, but look at all the emotional labor I did.
Yeah, true.
We should start invoicing for that. Putting dollar amounts on the emotional labor.
I got you to cry for the first time in 5 years. So that's $400.
Do you like it when a guy cries?
Yes.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I definitely don't find it a turn off or anything. I think that if it's a legitimate, vulnerable moment and a guy cries, like that's good shit.
I think I breathe a sigh of relief when it happens.
Yeah.
Because I just go, okay, well, at least you're in tune with something.
Yeah. Like, at least you're a people.
Right? You're something in there.
Yeah.
Are you someone who cries a lot?
Oh, I am a faucet.
Yeah, me too.
I am ridiculous.
Well, we cried together at Oasis. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Event stress to the max.
Yeah.
Both me and Alva just, our shows are going to be terrible. No one's going to come. Yeah. Oh my God, we're so Meanwhile, we had just like pulled off 2 amazing shows.
Yeah, but neither of us got ticket sales till like the last minute, and it was so stressful.
Yeah, insane stressful.
Yeah.
And then like and then I thought, holy shit, there's people who do shows that don't even do advance tickets.
Yeah.
How do you have the balls?
Yeah. Well, but for both of our shows too, like we did invest a lot more than like the average stand-up show.
I would agree.
A lot of them are just like, show up, here's your mic stand, let's go. Like we had light techs, we had sound techs, we had a
lot
panels.
of promotion.
Yeah, we had like different types of performers. Like throwing together. I don't want to say throwing together a comedy show is easy, but you can do one that is simple.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and that's kind of what I took away from mine, being like, if I do it again, it'll just be way less. Like, way less. Because, like, I had a friend ask me,
less
like,
is more.
Tell me that you broke even. And I just started laughing. I was like, that's hilarious. No, not at all.
Really?
No, what I spent was way more than what I made.
We, like, pretty much broke even.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah. And I mean, I think especially for a first show, like most businesses lose in the first few years. Like that's impressive that we broke even, and I'm pretty pleased.
You should be fucking proud. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, back to the 30 thing. So you were talking about turning 30, and you said too, like, my birthday gift to myself is investing in a show and doing this show.
Yes, yeah.
And that really speaks to who you are as somebody who like wants to entertain people, and like you're doing it for you, but it's also for so many other people, which I find so interesting.
Yeah, well, and I very much want to support female performers, queer performers, body positive performers, you know? And like I feel like if people are willing to put effort into that, we need to support them.
Absolutely. And like show them. And I think the cool thing with what you did was like, because you combined like mediums, would that be the word? You combine styles. Yeah. You combine comedy with burlesque. Like you're getting comedy fans seeing burlesque dancers for the first time. You're getting burlesque dancers seeing comedians for the first time. And so you're like bringing the audiences together and hopefully converting those to new people who are fans.
That was the goal.
Yeah, which is so cool.
Successful it was. I hope it was successful, but we'll be sending out a survey soon.
Oh, nice! That's a good idea.
Yeah, just to like see like what parts people liked, what they didn't, like if they came for one or the other, and if they enjoyed the other. Yeah, I'm very curious about that. I did have a friend who came, and I think she just thought it was a stand-up show, and then afterwards she was like, I saw your titties. I didn't think I was gonna see that much of you. And I was like, well, you should have read the description.
I gotta ask, so how was that experience for you? Like what was that like?
I had a lot of angst about it leading up to it. Yeah, like, cause I pretty consistently have body issues, and I like go through these phases where I'm like, I'm hot as shit, and then literally 10 minutes later I'm like, you're so ugly, and nothing has changed.
Right.
And it felt so good while I was on stage. Like I didn't care when I was on the stage at all.
No.
But then I thought afterwards that I would feel good about it and it would help my body issues, but it's just intensified the roller coaster in both directions. So, yeah, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about it. I don't regret it by any means, but, like, I thought that after I did it, I'd be like, cool, like,
well, we're
going to be comfortable with ourselves.
See, that's the thing, and that's the Instagram culture would lead you to believe, as a woman, if you do something like this, it's so empowering, and, like, you're going to be so powerful. And the reality is, that's not always how it goes.
Yeah.
The reality is, it made things worse for you in some ways.
Yeah, well, I mean, it made it both better and worse. Like, my moments where I'm like, you know, I'm a beautiful woman. The female body is so beautiful. Like, those moments are more intense, too.
Right.
So, like, there is a lot to gain from it. But then also the moments where I'm like, I'm so ugly. Nobody's ever going to fuck me again. Are also intensified.
Ugh.
So
I'm ugging because I feel it so hard.
Oh, and like I had the cutest little pasties picked out for the show.
Yeah.
And the day of, because I ordered them online like an idiot, they wouldn't stick at all. So I had to rig something else, and it was like these like neutral colored like big, like almost like a, I don't know, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna look.
Right.
And like from the pictures, it just looked like I was just naked and somehow didn't have nipples.
It kind of did. It kind of did. I won't lie.
And I'm like,
still though, the tits, great tits, Alva. Oh boy, yeah. The idea of womanhood is it's a lot.
Yes.
And it's so funny to me because like I just think of women and I'm like, yeah, they see, and it's all smoke and mirrors because I think even the most confident woman that you see is probably still struggling with body image stuff, and I don't know the solution, to be honest. I'm still trying to crack the code.
I think you just need to hope that there's more positive moments than negative ones, really.
Yeah, because where does like true confidence come from? Like the people who are 100% comfortable in their body? Because I don't think I've been there in a long time. Like I don't remember the last time where I felt like 100% truly comfortable.
Yeah. Well, and there was a phase in my life where I could throw on any outfit and just be like, whatever. I can wear this. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
I'm gonna look good.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not where I am right now. And like I have gained a lot of weight since I moved to Nova Scotia. Like just the lifestyle change that came with moving here has definitely plumped me up slowly and surely. So like, and it's just, but then I'm like, do I really want to put so much stock in that? Like, does it really friggin' matter? And I think sometimes when I like eat junk food, I'm like, well, it doesn't matter anyway. Like, who needs to be skinny? Fuck.
That was me the week after the live show. I was like, like a cartoon character. She was like, I deserve this. I starved myself for 2 weeks. Like, it's really, really hard. And I'm like looking actually right now, like I look at therapists like I'm looking for an apartment. Like I'm just like, this one would be nice. And ooh, like, because the therapist that I'm kind of looking for is, I need someone who can probably talk about body image stuff because, I mean, this is obviously a new issue that, like, is kind of taking over my life more than it used to. Like, because I used to have, at my most confident, it would just be like every now and then I would feel shitty.
Yeah.
And now it's every now and then I feel good.
Yeah.
And like that's.
Yeah, like I'm at the point where like I avoid like my reflection if I'm like walking around and stuff. And like
I feel that hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hate that. And then you're like, and then you have to like come home and like finally face it when you like wash your face at night.
Yeah,
and you're like,
this is what I'm working with.
Is this gonna be bad or good? But yeah, no, I'm looking for a therapist right now. And I'm like very specific in what I'm looking for. I'm like, okay, gotta kind of deal with confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah.
But also sexual stuff, because that's a whole other weird situation. I like kind of self-diagnosed myself with something recently.
Okay.
And by that I mean I finally found a term for it.
What's this?
It's called like orgasm dysphoria. Is that okay? I'm gonna actually look it up. So what it is it's feeling super sad after you come.
Huh. Wow.
Like,
wow.
Yeah.
No.
I talked about this briefly on the Momgasm podcast episode because they have a sex podcast, so it was appropriate to talk about that with them. But like, this is a weird thing. Oh no, it's post-coital dysphoria. So a lot of times, like if you look it up, like they talk about like sadness after sex, but I'm like, no, like I'm not with a partner. I'm just masturbating, and then I literally burst into tears.
Really?
Almost instantly.
Wow. Because
I'm the
instantly. Opposite. Like,
really?
If I haven't had one in like a few days, I'll start crying for no reason.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. And like
we have the opposite issues.
And like my husband will be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. I just need to come. And then he doesn't want to fuck me because I'm crying.
I'm sorry, that's funny. You can make that a joke somehow. Oh my god, yeah, no, it's so weird. Like, and I don't know, and like that's the thing. Like when I'm looking for a therapist, I'm like, I need someone who can kind of tap into like sexual stuff because clearly something's going on mentally where I'm not letting myself feel pleasure.
Yeah,
and it's actually making the depression way worse.
Yeah.
Because I can't even have that moment of like, oh, that felt so good. I'm just going to lay here and bask.
Yeah, like you're denying yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's
fucked.
like I don't think I deserve this thing? Or
it could be.
Yeah.
And that's like really what I want to explore with a therapist. But like I need someone who's kind of specializes in sexual. Either because I did have sexual trauma like a while ago. But you know, I've had plenty of like healthier situations since then.
But that doesn't erase it.
No, it certainly doesn't.
Sometimes it buries it for a little bit. But...
And I had that person message me recently, the day before my birthday. That person sent me an Instagram message saying, "Hey, you. Hey, you." Jesus. And "hey, you" can be taken in so many different ways. It can be like,
hey,
or like, yeah, or "hey, you." And I just didn't respond. But like that was like, I was just like, why the day before my birthday? Why did you have to come back up block again?
Well, and sexual trauma is so hard to deal with because there's this part of you that wants to enjoy sex so bad, and then there's this other part that you just can't disconnect. Mm-hmm. And like I find, because I've had sexual trauma very, very, very long time ago, and like it will go away for like a while, sometimes like years, and then it will just like pop out at me, and I'm just like a jack in the box, and it's like, where'd you come from? Why are you here now? Like,
did you find? So you said it happened like a while. Like how long ago we talking?
Like I was young.
Really
like,
young.
I was like 11, 12 years old.
Fuck, I'm sorry. That's fucking
Which is like a whole different thing, because that's also like when you're discovering sexuality too. So it's like it was a very strong association for a long time, you know.
Oh boy, that's fucking brutal. Do you find that it comes out when you hear story, like, you know, because now we're in this movement of like the Me Too movement, like we're hearing about all
which
these,
is great,
which is great. But like, do you find that you are like triggered when you hear stories from like when people come out and speak out about things? Do you get triggered?
I get triggered, but I also want to hear it anyway.
Yeah, same.
Like I
will listen to the whole thing.
Time.
Same.
Yeah,
I will listen to all of it.
Yeah.
The one that which one was it? There was one in particular that really fucked me up. It might have been the gymnastic doctor. That one was brutal. I don't know, like it's a fucked up world we're living in, but you're right, like it's great that it's coming out, but it makes you deal with your own shit.
Yeah, and then you're like, I would rather forget about that. And that's what I've been doing a lot, is just trying to like face my demons, because I'm very much just like, here's a bag, I'm gonna put you in here, and we'll just never deal with you.
Right. But there's a way you can deal with your demons that's like easy, which is try to deal with them one at a time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm like, every time I have a day off, I'm like, what we gonna tackle today? But then I find like I get myself really down if I like have an assigned thing that I want to tackle and it takes longer than I think it's going to. And then I'm like, you're just going to be fucked up forever. You know, like I start like hating on myself. Yeah.
Fuck. Well, I mean, you got to remind yourself too, like you're literally trying the best. Your best. I say that to myself all the time. You're trying your best.
Well, and
you're trying
at least
your best.
you're trying.
At least you're trying.
Like, do you know how many people just use all their shitty trauma as an excuse to be shitty people?
Yeah, or people who clearly have issues that don't realize they have issues, don't face those issues.
Don't deal with them.
Yeah.
And then it lands on everybody else in their life. Like, my biggest fear is that my issues will negatively impact other people in my life. Like, I want to deal with them for myself as well, but, like, more just... Like, I don't want my friends to have to worry. I don't want my husband to have to worry. I don't want my coworkers to have to worry. I want to deal with my shit so they don't have to. You know?
And you made a status, like, kind of addressing friendships.
Yes.
And how, like, you're dealing with some shit and, like, you might not be as present.
Well, and I've had a really hard time with friendship over the past, like, year and a half.
Same.
One of my very close friends was killed.
What?
Last October, and I had a really hard time with it. Like I was so depressed for a really long time, and then sort of more recently, another friend of mine was diagnosed with cancer, and I was just like, I can't have friends die anymore. No, thank you. And I've like almost been like afraid to like make friends just to, like out of fear of like losing them. You know what I mean?
Which is sorry. That's crazy.
And it's irrational. Like, it's not something that happens very often, right? Like,
no, it's not.
It's probably never going to happen again, but it's traumatizing.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, like, both those things are traumatizing. Yeah. I had no idea. That's oh my God, I can't imagine. I've never had anyone close to me die. And grief is something that I'm totally unprepared for. And I'm 33 and I've never really dealt with my grandmother would be the closest. Mm-hmm. And that was like, you know, she was on the way out. Like she was literally on her dying bed. Like
I think it's easier when an older person dies, when it's somebody who's like young, and she's younger than me.
Oh my God.
And I think that's really tough.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And like she had recently gotten engaged, and it was just like it was just it's objectively terrible.
And then you know, us as women, we're always living in fear anyway because we're scared of getting fucking raped and murdered, like just walking down the street. Yeah. And then you have a close friend of you.
Yeah, like it added to so many different kinds of fear in my life.
Yeah, I can't. So are all these things that you have been like dealing with in therapy? Like, do you talk to your therapist about all of these things?
Most of them.
Yeah. That's good.
And like we don't spend hours going through every single one, but my therapist is very good at being like, this is impacted by this. And just like making me realize the connecting
everything.
And I think when I really started to like my therapist and like be like, yes, this is the right fit for me, is because I told him I had a breakdown on Friday, and he was like, what'd you do on Monday? And I was like, what? He was like, Monday morning when you got up, what did you do? And I was like, I don't see the connection. He's like, well, what do you usually do Monday morning? And I'm like, I get up, I make breakfast, I walk the dog, I take a shower, I do my makeup, I leave for work. He's like, okay, what'd you do this Monday? I was like, I woke up late, I had to take the dog for a quick pee, had to throw something on, didn't get to do my makeup. And he was
rushed and anxious.
Yeah. And he was like, so do you think that continued through the week? And I was like, shit, you're good.
You carried that energy with you somehow.
Yeah. Like he's very good at just being like, just taking me a step back and just being like, not everything is happening at once. It's you building these things on yourself that you really don't, like stacking it like Lego, and you don't have to.
God damn.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
That's so...
And that's what you were saying with just like dealing with your demons one at a time.
Yeah.
Because it's so overwhelming, but really. And the other thing is like our feelings aren't really doing anything to us. Like they're nothing physical, and you just gotta like recognize them for what they are.
Exactly. That's actually such a good point.
But it's so much easier said than done.
So much easier said than done, but like even just, and it's hard to have total control over your feelings, but having that mind control of just like, I'm feeling this is the thing that's happening. It's not going to be forever. Like, it's not going to be forever.
Yeah.
But that's hard. When you're going through heartbreak, it feels like forever.
Yeah. And then like one thing I told myself over and over again is like, the worst part isn't the only part. The worst part isn't the only part.
Yeah.
And another thing that my therapist has had me do lately is, because I'm very bad for just being like, I'm always fucking everything up. And he had me write out just like objectively what actually happened.
Yeah.
Versus like, I screwed up and missed my bus. I screwed up and did this. Just like write out what happened and how bad does it actually look when it's like actually just a list of facts.
Right?
You know? Like,
yeah. Actually, I'm actually really bad for that too. And do you consider yourself a self-deprecating person?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
So do you think that there is a way to be self-deprecating that's healthy? That wouldn't... Because, like, I'm pretty self-deprecating too. But I can tell when it's truth or when I'm...
Yeah.
And when it's humor.
It's good to be realistic. And it's good to be self-reflective.
Yes.
And I feel like that always comes before the self-deprecation.
Or it should.
So if you can cut that last little step, I think it's very healthy.
Right.
But, like, I've never been able to.
It's hard. It's hard to kind of separate the two.
Yeah, and I want to be realistic, and I don't want to be one of those people that just thinks I'm the shit and never works on myself either, right?
Yeah. I think if I was to choose between the person I am or someone with like blind confidence that's totally unaware, I'm still going to go with the person I am. Like that's it feels a lot more genuine. Yeah. Yeah, like people who are just so cocky and have no idea like the reality of what they're doing.
I'll never forget. I used to do martial arts with this guy, and he was just the cockiest shit in the world. And one day he told me, he was like, why are you so awkward? And I'm like, I'm not awkward. I just fucking hate you. But he was so so confident that his brain couldn't process that maybe somebody doesn't like him. So he assumed that I must be awkward.
Oh my gosh.
But
wow.
just like talk about like blind confidence.
That's blind. And I'm the one that assumes people just default don't like me.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
just like, every time I walk into a room, I'm like, everybody hates you, and it's your job to try to make them like you. Which is why I do stand-up. I'm like, hi, strangers, please like me.
But I get it. When I went on that stage and they clapped, I was like, I get it now.
I'm valid.
I get it. Yeah. I understand why this feels good for people, even though it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Well, in doing like live performances, you either walk off the stage feeling like $1 million or a garbage can, and there's nothing in between.
Yeah, that's hard.
It is.
How do you deal with the garbage can moments?
Just try to remind yourself of the shows that went well.
Right.
Like if I had a really, really bad set, I will go home and try to listen to one of my recordings from a good set. Just to like be like, okay, you're not terrible, like it's fine.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Like, don't instantly go to the bad one.
Yeah.
Remind yourself of the good ones.
Mm-hmm. And I keep recordings of most of my performances, and I have like bad ones for like when I'm ready to sit down and try to work on things, and then I have good ones where I'm like, I need reassurance.
Yeah, and we're human. We need that reassurance.
Yeah.
And we do need validation sometimes. I just feel like with the validation thing, like that's another thing that I'm like, that's one of my demons that I'm trying to work on, which is the constant need for validation, which is why I want to kind of take the social media break to like try not to rely on the likes so much or the, you know, like the internet friends kind of thing.
Yeah.
And part of me is like, but that's my, like, I'm connected to that. So if I'm not with that, like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do with myself?
Just yell out the window, do you like me?
Do you like my eyeshadow today? How will I know if I don't Instagram story it?
It's so true, though. We're so used to getting validation that way. And
it is.
When I was single, I was really bad for getting validation through sex. I will fully admit that.
I mean, I
was
still
a
am.
straight up hoe because I was just like, oh, I must be pretty.
Yeah.
I must be a good person.
Yeah. And that's definitely another one. I have 1,000 demons now, and I'm like, that's another one of my demons. Like, count the fucking demons.
You need
like
just a shotgun.
Yeah, whoever's listening to this right now, just drink every time we mention our demons. That's going to be the whole episode. But
and chug a whole glass every time there's a new demon.
It's so true though, like the sex thing, like I still to this day, and I'm still working on it. Again, I'm doing this all without therapy. So like I'm trying to find like books and like, you know, stuff like that, trying to like learn on my own, which is insane. I need a fucking therapist. Yeah. Sponsor the podcast and give me some.
Get Sarah a therapist.
Listen. I want a booze sponsor. I want a Red Bull sponsor and a therapy sponsor. I think all those three would be appropriate.
One of the comics is now a therapist.
Who?
Bill Wood.
Shh. An actual therapist?
Yeah, or like a counselor. I don't know what his designation is, but yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so hit that boy up.
I should. Well, I mean, I'd love to anyway, because he was so good at your show.
I didn't get to see him, and that's the other thing with running that show is like I got to see very few of the performances, which is
same
sad.
with mine.
Yeah.
You should record the next one.
Yeah.
So that you can watch it back.
Yeah. Well, and even with your show where I was working the door, I didn't see a lot of it either. So it's kind of sad panda. But I mean, like, that's the pain of running shows. And it's so rewarding, but at the same time, you're like, is it going well?
Is it? Yeah, what's happening there? Yeah, because you want to put people in charge that, like, you trust, but then you also want those people to enjoy the show.
Yeah,
so
because it's usually
weird
your friends, right? Yeah.
I thank you so much for doing that, by the way.
It was fun. Like, it was
next
good.
Next time, we're just going with the Sniggly Wiggly stuff, and no, none of my friends will be out there. Everyone will be in the audience. It'll be great. That's so interesting. Bill Woods is, I'd love to
You could see that, though, now that I said it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's very calming.
Yes.
He's a calming person.
And he's very, very caring, and he's very supportive of everyone.
Yeah. I would love to have a therapist on the podcast, just to be like, here you go. What's she going to do with that?
Well, and I'm always interested to hear therapists talk about their demons and how they handle their own.
Oh, yeah.
Because most therapists have therapists.
Yeah.
Like, they're not immune.
Yeah, they wouldn't, like, therapy themselves.
Yeah.
That would be really awkward and weird.
Well, and that would be, I think, self-deprecating. Because we're the worst judges of ourselves, right?
Oh, my God. We are the worst judges of ourselves.
Well, and anybody who went to university and took a psychology class, like a weekend, everybody's diagnosing themselves with everything.
Yeah, and it's weird because, how do you feel about the self-diagnosing? Because, like, I kind of self-diagnosed myself with that, like, orgasm thing only because I spent so long researching that, and I never found anything closer to what I experienced in that description. But I've also been one to say, I have depression and anxiety. I've never been diagnosed with those things.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, like, should I be saying that, or should I be saying, I think I'm anxious, I think I'm depressed?
My take on it, and I mean, feel free to disagree with this, and I'm sure you will, but I think it's good for people to research what they think they have and to find something to identify with, but I also think you should follow that with professional advice.
Yeah.
Like, go into a doctor's and be like, hey, I think I might have this.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to take that second step.
That's so true. Yeah, don't be fully like, I have depression. You can feel very depressed.
Yes.
Because being depressed is a feeling, right?
Well, depression is both an emotion and a condition.
Yeah.
So it's normal to feel depressed sometimes. It's not normal to be depressed. Yeah.
Right.
And there's a big difference. And like, I recently went through a really hard time because my antidepressants got switched due to a clerical error.
Shut the fuck up.
And it fucked me up real bad, like really bad. And I went on a few different ones for a little while before I got back on what like actually works for me. And it's terrifying because some of those drugs will actually make you much worse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have depression, absolutely get that treated, but also be aware that it might be dicey. Like, and it has to, like, to me, I think it has to be bad enough that you're willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
Like, in my case, like, even if I had to go on some that made me even worse for a little while, it was worth it to get the long-term gain.
You're like, I need to suffer through this to get to the other side.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm just going to be depressed my entire life. And I would rather have like a week of really bad depression than be like this for the rest of my life. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. I'm constantly feeling like I have a certain amount of like, I'll just even use the dollar amount, like $100 a month to put towards like my self-care.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm always just like, do I make that doctor's appointment and try to get medicated? Do I go see a therapist for one session? Do I like, and I have to like constantly be thinking about like what I prioritize in my life in terms of like what's going to make me a happier, fuller person. Because right now I don't feel that at all. And I'm trying to make it a priority to like lead a more balanced life. Like be healthier, be mentally healthier, get back to friendships again. Like, you know, off the mic friendships. Cause this is fucking great. I love this, but I also want to fucking hang out outside of this.
Yeah. Well, and it's so cool. And I'm so glad that you do what you do. But at the same time, I completely understand that can't be your life.
I do. And I want to call someone out right now who probably won't listen to this episode, but like I had a friend who did the show way back in the heydays of Intoxicated, like first year. Because I kind of called on friends a lot because I didn't know all y'all comedians at the time. And she did an episode and then literally messages me and goes, I'm getting a divorce. Did you want to record about it? And I'm just like, what? Hi again.
What?
Yeah. And that happens more than people think. And a lot of times these are my close friends or closer friends or people who know me but like don't necessarily listen to the podcast, don't necessarily know what it's become, which has been primarily comedy.
Yeah.
Obviously we talk about deep shit and we make it funny, but like,
well, and I mean,
it was a moment of like, okay, I get that people like a platform.
Yes.
Because it makes them feel special. It'll make you feel good to like talk about something that you know. And I ask people all the time. I'll go, you went through that fucked up thing. Would you want to come on and talk about it? And I'll ask people, but it's just weird to have a friend.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere after so much time.
And especially not like reach out to you as a friend first. Yeah. And then as an afterthought ask
That's
about,
what I was telling Andrew. I was like, normally how it goes is a friend will tell me about something. And then I might just kind of throw it out, be like, "Would you be willing to like talk about this on the podcast?" Yeah. It's not the first instant thing, and it made me realize I'm like, I'm I love Intoxicated so much, but I do need to step away sometimes and have things that aren't related to the podcast because I don't want to become the podcast. I want to be more than the podcast.
Well, and I've worked with comics who are just like walk through life constantly trying to write jokes. Just everything they see, feel, experience, they're constantly trying to make a joke out of it. And like I do think that it's cool to try to take everyday experiences and make jokes out of them and try to take dark things and make jokes out of them. I love like jokes that are rooted in deep dark shit. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, live your damn life.
Live your damn life. Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah, and I've had like other friends do the same thing where like they'll just instantly suggest doing an episode together and I go, I'd love to do an episode, but like can we also just like fucking shoot the shit like at a bar? Like what we used to do?
Yeah.
Because it's not always about creating content. Like I love creating content. But it's not always about that. And right now I'm trying to just make more space for friendships and self-care and finally finding that therapist or finally like, you know, going to the doctor and pushing for medication because I have to push for it because they won't give me it because they don't think I'm depressed enough. But,
well, because you're like kind of a bubbly personality. Yeah.
But again, like how do you convince someone like it's really bad, you need to maybe I'll tell her that recently I had such a bad depressive episode that I laid in bed and I scrolled through Suicide Watch on Reddit, which is a very dark place to go.
Yep.
And I was also watching people jumping off bridges on YouTube.
Jesus.
So maybe I'll tell her that next time.
Yeah. Well, and it's so scary because like I went through like I legit thought I was going to kill myself fairly recently. And like the suicide prevention line didn't pick up.
Yeah.
The suicide clinic in Halifax was closed. And like the mobile team that they have didn't pick up either. And they're supposed to call you back within half an hour. And they didn't call for like 4 hours. Jesus. And like, fortunately, I had enough of like a support base that there were other people that like came and helped me. But if I was like a loner,
nothing.
Like, what would have happened?
Isn't that so fucked up?
Terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's also terrifying that you need to be so extreme to get help. Like,
yeah.
While I agree that, like, yes, like, those are the most important cases, I'm just like, you shouldn't get to
that point.
Yeah, we shouldn't be getting to the point where we're thinking about that. We should be nipping it in the bud.
Yeah.
And, like, really, like, as soon as you start feeling it, get help for it.
Yes.
As soon as you start feeling it, like, no one should ever have to feel that way. It's so fucked to feel that way.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever actually been like, I'm going to do it or I want to do it. But I've been in dark places where I've been like, oh, like, things are really hard and I don't think that they're going to get better. Like, how nice would it be to just like sleep for a long time? Like, that's always my thing. I'm always just like,
yeah, that's
like,
my thought too. I'm like, sleeping would be so good. What if I just slept for like real long?
Because I don't know about you, but when I'm depressed, I have the deepest, most crazy sleeps.
Yeah, and crazy dreams.
Crazy dreams. Like, the dreams become a TV show that I want to keep watching.
Yes, that's a good way of describing it. Yeah,
It's like, screw Netflix. I'm just gonna sleep.
Yeah,
and have these weird dreams that are, you know, people
better
in my life
than my
are,
reality.
and then people in your life are like kind of come into your dreams.
Yeah,
but then they like act
like
in different ways,
but not themselves.
Yes, yeah. I fucking hate that. But I'm also like, just, I have weird sleep things. Like, I dream really deep. I get sleep paralysis a lot.
Really? That's terrifying. It's
happened
crazy. To me a couple of times. Has it? Awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you a good sleeper? Like, do you fall asleep right away? Like, do you normally get a decent amount of sleep all the time or no?
I fall asleep really easily, but like, I don't know. If I'm depressed, I either oversleep or don't sleep at all.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. You're either... And also when I'm depressed, I overwork myself because I don't want to be at home with my thoughts.
Yeah. And that's the other extreme. Either I'm spend way too much time alone and I get way too deep in that rabbit hole, or I desperately try to avoid it.
Yep. Ding. Ugh. This episode of all episodes, I would have been dinging the bell 1,000 times. So now that we've talked about a lot of shit, do you
this got a lot deeper than I thought
I
was gonna
loved
be.
it. Honestly, Alva, this is fucking great. It feels good to just put it out there and talk about
this. Is like
shit.
The longest time I've ever gone without making a sex joke, and it feels real weird.
Well, should we talk about sex now?
Sure.
To like end it on like a lighter note.
Sure.
Other than Sarah cries when she comes, which is not light. I seriously don't know how to fix that issue.
Yeah, I feel like a professional can probably help.
Yeah.
Like, has it always been that way or just recently?
Past 2 years.
Okay. So it's probably
on and
something
off.
solvable then.
The best times of me getting off is, oh boy, when it's around talking to a crush or sexting with a crush or like on the phone with a crush. I would never get like that when that happens because I had someone. So I think I actually think it's rooted in intimacy.
Yeah.
Like I just really want like an intimate, close relationship.
Like, can we cuddle after? And your hand's like,
because I was telling you about like the fivesome experience and how like it was fun and stuff, but how I felt like I couldn't fully enjoy it because I didn't have that emotional
and the couples
connection.
Were like intimate afterwards,
together,
and you were like, but now I'm just here. Yeah,
and it was fun and like do not get me wrong, everyone was respectful. Like it was quite the experience, and there was really cool moments like when 2 guys were sucking on my boobs. Like I had a
that
guy
sounds
here
pretty rockin'.
Yeah, I was like, that's on the list of cool things I've done. But I do think, like, if I could identify with any sexuality, it would be probably demisexual because I do think I need
the emotional part
and some tension and like to know someone. I don't know if I'm a one night stand person.
Really?
Because I've only had I've had a lot of casual sex, but a lot of it has been friends.
Okay.
So I've known them.
Yeah, no, not me. Like when I was single, I was
one night stands.
Fuck them and chuck them.
So did you find that you could have good sex on a one night stand, like with like someone you don't know?
Yeah.
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 See, this is why it's so interesting to me because like I'm so different. Like I feel like I probably couldn't, but
no, like I mean, it was fine. I mean, I think with a lot of people, if you don't jive right away and you got to figure out what each other like, so that can be awkward. But other than that, like,
just make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take control. Like I had like a situation where I didn't get to fuck someone that I really want to fuck, and his whole thing was like, oh, there's a lot of pressure on this, and like, what if we do it and it's bad? And I just go, I wouldn't let it be bad.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I've never been more confident in my life. I was just like, I know that you're scared that it would be bad, but like I would just make it good. Yeah. Like worst case scenario, you lay there and I ride you. Like
well, and that's the thing is like I have so many body issues, but like I'm confident in my ability.
I am too.
To fuck.
Yeah, same.
Like I know I'm good at this shit.
Yeah. I'm 90% sure I'm good at it. Yeah. There's still the 10% that I'm
where
like,
I'm like, hey, close your eyes. But like just enjoy.
Can you that would be interesting to fuck blindfolded.
I've done
It'd
it
be
before.
hard.
That's definitely not something I could do with somebody I don't know really well.
No. You gotta know.
But like my ex-husband and I did that a few times.
Really?
Like after we got married, because we were just kind of like, it was weird because after we got married, we were so much more comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Like it was just like nothing was out of bounds anymore.
Really?
So
and it was after the marriage.
Yeah, so we tried a whole bunch like more kinky stuff after that.
Right.
Because it was just like there was so much trust.
That's the thing, is the trust thing.
Yeah.
It's so freaking important. Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily have to be like in love to trust someone. Like you truly don't. Like, but that, when you have that trust, but then it's also weird because I think back to like my abuser guy, and I'm like, nah, I had some pretty good sex with him too, but before
that happened.
That
adds another layer that it was an enjoyable thing first.
Well, that was me. Well, I mean, long story short, like I was kind of like feeling like I was a sub, and I was like, subs are supposed to do this, so do this to me. Oh wait, I'm not ready for that. Shit, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there was no asking, there was no talking about things. It was just kind of let this guy do whatever he wants to me, and I'm just gonna do it because this is what a sub is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Well, and the dom sub thing, it's very much a role. It's not supposed to be like a license to rape. You know?
Exactly.
Like, it's still very consensual. It's just like one person is leading.
Exactly.
It's not supposed to be degrading. It's not supposed to be forceful. It's just supposed to be like one person's taking control and the other person isn't.
Exactly. And I didn't know that back then.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really misunderstand BDSM culture.
Truly.
Like, and I think that 50 Shades of Garbage did not do any favors.
Nope, it did not. Although one scene I like in that movie is when they do the contract.
I haven't actually seen it. I've just like heard a lot of people be like, nah.
Well, there's a scene where they're like, they list all of the things.
Oh, okay.
Like on paper. And they both sign it.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm like, I can get behind that. I think, well, I mean, it would be in a different way. Like, even if it's just talking with your partner before and going, I don't like this, but here are the things like I'm willing to try. And like, maybe if I'm not enjoying it, I say this word and you fucking stop. Or you just say stop.
Yeah, like, why can't stop be the safe word? That's always been my thing.
That's the safe word I've been using for years. But then that's also complicated because like,
the safe word I've been using is, oh, no.
The safe word I use is
or back your ass up, boy.
But then that's also fucked because like I know with my experience, like I didn't actually say stop. And that's what makes these things so gray area and so like
but
tricky.
Also if you're afraid to say stop, then that's a situation.
Yeah, and I mean nonverbal cues are 100% a thing, and
yes,
like,
and that's all sex is body language.
Yeah,
like, if you can't read a person's body language, you're gonna be shitty at sex.
Truly.
That's just the truth. Like, because you could know every move, but like if you can't respond to what somebody else is doing, like,
and you can tell when someone's fucking you for them and not for you. Like, like when they don't look at you at all during, like, and they're just hammering away, and you're like, I'm here too. Hi,
are you masturbating right now?
Yeah,
with my pussy.
Yeah, am I just whatchamacallit, a fleshlight?
Yeah,
I felt like that many times.
I've definitely had those moments,
and it's so weird because like it's weird when you're like having sex with somebody and they don't feel like they're there.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's terrifying, yeah.
I need some... I want to have sex with eye contact. Listen, I'm 33 and it's time.
Well, and like my partner is so in the moment.
Yeah?
Like so much, like to a degree that I didn't even know was a thing before that. Ooh. And I think that's why I fell in love with him so quickly, is because I was just like, oh my God, like this is like such a submersive experience.
Like he is very attentive and like eye contacting.
Like just very, very into it. Yeah.
Ooh, jealous. Yeah. Jealous. Oh, look at you. Like, he's so happy.
Nothing bragging, nothing.
No, but that's good. Well, I mean, like, I love hearing when people are in long-term relationships and they're like, I still love fucking.
But we went through quite a dry spell.
Did ya?
For a very long time.
Really?
Yeah. And we kind of just, like, recently rekindled things. And I'm so fucking relieved.
Did you do something in particular to kind of rekindle that?
Well, and it's... So, he's very much a feminist. So, he didn't want to... Like, I'd be like, what? Like, is there something I can do to get you more into it? And he didn't want to say anything because he doesn't want to be like one of those dudes that like tells a girl how to dress, you know? And he's like, I love you no matter how you look. And I'm like, yes, I know, but I also need a hard dick. So speak up. And like when we first met, I was always hanging out at like punk shows. So I was like dressed very like kind of like gothic and punky.
Yeah.
And just like a while ago, I just like put on like fishnets and like a leather jacket. And he was like, ooh. And I was like, oh,
this is what it is.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can wear this to Applebee's if that means we're gonna fuck after. Just speak up, boy. Like, if you could spend $200 on a pasta machine, I could spend $50 on a leather corset, and we'll both get more noodle.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well,
come on.
Fucking stockings, man. I'm telling you, I don't think that there's a guy in the world who doesn't love some knee highs.
Yeah, true.
Like you pop those on and like, well, instantly hose you up no matter what you're wearing.
True.
Like I like putting them on sometimes even when people don't see it.
Yeah.
Because it's just because I know
like
that they're there.
Or it's like wearing like a garter. You're like, I'm secretly sexy.
I love lingerie. Like I think I feel sexiest in lingerie.
Yeah. And I wish it was cheaper.
Fuck yeah, I know. But I was gonna say, like, you can get fairly cheap lingerie. Like, Pleasures and Treasures is great for that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's not too expensive. Don't go to like no Victoria's Secret bullshit.
No, I
That's
actually
too
love
much.
Pleasures and Treasures.
Oh, I
and
love
I'm not
it.
just saying that because they sponsored my show. Like, they're legit. Like, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're like, they'll try to help you find things that actually fit for you. There's affordable options for everything.
And there's tons of different like styles.
Yeah.
You can find anything you're looking for there, really. Yeah. Like, what's like the craziest thing you ever wore? Ooh, this is a good question because you probably have a lot of costumes. I assume. I assume you do.
Yep.
Have you ever fucked in a costume?
Oh, yeah.
What's like the most craziest costume that you fucked?
I don't know if it's the craziest, but I definitely fucked a lot in the Sailor Moon costume.
Yes! Now, my follow-up was the other person dressed up to you, or was it just you?
It was just me.
Yeah! And the times that I've done it too, it's the same. I'm like, it's interesting. I would love to do have the guy dress up too. That'd be fun.
Well, my ex-husband actually did that for me once because I have a big Superman fetish for some reason. I just think because that guy who played the dude in Smallville is super hot.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yeah.
I had a big Superman fetish. So he, got, a Superman costume with, the crotch cut out.
That's hot.
Lord it.
Oh, my God. I banged in Wonder Woman costume.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I also banged in Snow White.
And Snow White. That's naughtier.
Yeah.
You would make a perfect Snow White.
I love doing Snow. I'd like to redo it. So I actually had it made. I bought a yellow skirt, bought stockings, bought a bow. Made the whole collar thingy, and I had my friend sew the shirt.
Nice.
I have the shirt still, although I can't wear it now because the guy cummed on it, and even though I washed it, I'm like, I can't wear this again. It's been cummed on. It's done.
It's been marked. Marked for death.
With the white A. But I would love to do that one again because the dark hair and the pale skin, it works.
It works, yeah.
That's my Disney princess. If I could be a Disney princess, it would be Snow White. Although I don't know much about her. I don't think I ever saw the movie.
Really? Well, it's the oldest one.
Is it the oldest?
Yeah.
Oldest?
Yeah.
Really? What's your favorite Disney princess?
Oh God. It used to be Ariel because I had red hair as a kid. So
Right.
obviously I
Is that your
immediately
natural color?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not super red, but yeah, a little bit. So I feel like that's where my addiction started. And I was like, there's a little bit of red. I want more red. And then more. But I'm trying to think.
I guess it doesn't really matter. Not everyone has to be into Disney princesses.
I am. I'm not into them.
Yeah.
I had a big crush on Jasmine.
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
little, yeah. And that probably should have been my first clue.
Right. Oh, man, that's funny. I'm so straight. Although I watch a lot of lesbian porn.
A lot of straight women do.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
I think it's because there's not very much oral sex in straight porn.
With lesbian porn, you're going to see some vagina action.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a really safe bet.
Yeah. Well, and I think most women like a good pounding, but you can't really do that well if there's not some oral or something else going on first. You got to preheat the oven.
Speaking of pounding, let's tell the story and then we'll close it out.
All right.
But when we were prepping for Tongue in Cheek and I was going around with Adrian, we went to Pleasures and Treasures. And we found the Louisiana Lounger, which is a blow up, it's almost like a little mini blow up sofa with a dick on it that fucks you. It's literally a fuck machine. You lay there and it fucks you.
That's awesome.
And I was telling her because I was like, oh yeah, I know all about this. I've Googled this before. I know how much it is. I would love to save up for one. Because
how much are they?
They're I think $300 or $400 or something like that.
So I could return that pasta maker. Different kind of noodle.
But I remember seeing it and Adrian, it really piqued her interest, and she she literally took an Instagram video of it. She
awesome.
Zoomed in on it with the heart super zoom.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, Adrian, we should get one and share it.
Share it? That's intimate. It's joint custody.
Well, it'd be interesting to get one that you could just interchange out the dildos.
The dildo part,
then you could bring your own dildo and pop it on.
Yeah.
Because I think you can do that with the Sibian.
Yeah, just have a girls' night.
Well, that's at the sex party. That's what made me come come out of my shell was seeing the room. There was a room with a Sibian.
Okay.
And like the way that it kind of works is like there's these rooms and you can stand outside the room. But like you have to be invited in, and like you can't go in unless you're invited. But like you can
like
watch.
a vampire.
If the door is open, you can watch. But if the door is shut, you don't do anything. But there was a room with a Sibian, and it was just all these hot women getting on that Sibian and looking like they're having the best time of their life. And I'm out there, and like people are trying to coax me in. I'm like, no, not me, no. And I never did. But it made, like, seeing them do that.
You were like,
made me, like, I was just like, oh, this is really hot. Like, because it was just so many, like, and everyone was, like, rooting each other on, like, as they were going, go, Stacy! I bet you there was a Stacy there.
Well, and, like, a lot of straight porn, the women look uncomfortable.
Yeah, they do.
Like, just straight up.
Yeah.
And that doesn't turn me on at all. Like,
no.
And why are, like, the titles of pornos, like, whore takes a big dick? Like, why can't it be, like, everyone had a pleasant time?
Goddess lady enjoys herself.
Yes.
For once. We should rewrite porn titles.
Yes.
That'd be a good episode. We should, like, scroll through porn and rewrite the titles. Oh, man.
Woman
a good
gets
idea.
perfect viscosity before pounding.
Very intelligent woman takes it in the ass. I love that idea. Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm gonna have to do that tonight. Like, I'm not gonna look at porn titles the same anymore. I'm gonna be like, I need to rewrite this.
You know, it's one of my favorite things in the world, though. Porn comments.
Yes. I don't always look at them. I should start looking at them more.
Yeah.
Like to take the time to enjoy a video so much that you comment.
Yeah.
On porn.
Oh, most
things.
of them are complaints.
Are they really? Not enough cum.
Yeah, most of that's usually the complaint.
Really?
Is like, she deserved a bigger load.
Well, I listened to a podcast recently with someone who does porn, and a lot of like the cream pie stuff is all fake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not real shit.
No.
God. Yeah, that doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think porn is a good thing. I think we should all enjoy sex as we see fit, and we should learn about sex. But also, it's like. It's a movie. Keep in mind that it's a movie.
And very not, unless you're watching like those amateur videos, like it's not how
it's
real
fiction.
Sex. Yeah, truly.
And like enjoy fiction, but like realize that it's fiction.
Exactly. Oh man. Oh boy, Alva.
What a loaded episode.
I don't even know what to call this one. There's so many titles going through my head. Demons
with dildos.
I love that. Or the 30, what was it, 30 Conniption?
30 Conniption, yeah.
So are you feeling better about being 30? Are you on the road to it?
Yeah, like, I know it's not that old, is the thing. Like, my logic brain is like, you're fine.
But I get it, because I was there too when I turned 30.
Yes.
And then you get over the hill, and then you're like, okay, now I have to be worried about geriatric pregnancies. Which is me.
No, I have, premature menopause.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Are you not getting periods?
Well, I didn't for like 2 years, and then I took medication, and then I started getting really intense ones. It's like a whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Now
I'm on medication for it.
It's piqued my interest because my periods are on and off currently.
Yeah.
I went 5 months without one, and then I got them back, but they're like so light that I'm like,
what is really happening?
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Can't enjoy an orgasm. Can't seem to have a full period. Like, truly, what's happening?
Though. Like, maybe it's hormonal.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said that, and like, the doctor was like, "Well, we're not going to test your hormones because you're on the pill, so it doesn't matter." And I'm like,
Go to like the actual sexual health clinic and talk to a lady.
I think I should. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because when I first got. I don't think I actually have premature menopause, but that's what I was first diagnosed with by the male walking clinic doctor who hardly wanted to talk to me about it. And then I went to get a pap, and this lady was like, oh, like, what are your symptoms? And we talked about it for a while, and she gave me these pills, and I've been so much better since.
Really? So this is like just like it's not a birth control pill? It's like a totally different...
No, it's a totally different thing.
Really?
It's not for like prevention. I think it's actually like a fertility thing.
Oh,
not that we're trying to get pregnant, and I don't think I can.
Right.
But like it's just to like get her moving again.
Get her moving. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Start
I wonder
the engine.
Is that to like, maybe it's like to help with like ovulation or something? Maybe?
Yeah, well, it's also like for like thyroid balances and stuff. Because like part of the reason why I've gotten so much fatter since I moved here is because apparently my body can't process carbs properly anymore. Yeah.
I'm just like, is that why I'm gaining weight now?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But you like the medication's helping and
it's all
that's
good.
Yeah. That's good.
But like it was so weird that it took so long to get somebody to actually help me, and then once they did, it was so easy.
Well, that's just it. I feel like, I mean, people in general, and especially women, need to if you feel like something's wrong, you gotta fight for that. Like, you gotta fight for that information and that diagnosis.
Well, and I think that's partially because healthcare is free in Canada.
Yep.
So like you need to be more serious when you have something, because I've traveled, as you know, and the experience with doctors in like New Zealand or somewhere where you have to pay for doctors, like yes, it's expensive, but like you get treated.
It's better.
They listen to you.
Really?
Ooh, they actually, if you ask for a test, they'll do it.
Oh wow, that's actually a great point. Yeah, that's interesting, because you always think, oh, it's so expensive, that sucks, but like, maybe there's a reason?
Yeah.
Because it's legit?
Yeah. Well, I got my ears sewn back on in the Dominican.
Hang on.
Oh, no, it's the other one.
Hang on.
You okay?
I've had my ears sewn back on. You leave this to the fucking end of the episode, Alva?
I forgot you were trying to end it.
We've talked suicide. We've talked fucking orgasm. Like, and here we are. How did your ears fall off?
Well, just the one.
Oh, just the one?
Don't be crazy.
What happened?
It was, I lost it in my honeymoon.
What?
We went on one of those like speedboat rides, and my husband like accidentally kneed me in the face, and like just like this whole like middle section came off.
From his knee?
Yeah.
How the fuck does that happen?
Well, we were going like so fast. I don't know.
Oh.
We got divorced shortly afterwards, so maybe there was some resentment. I don't know. This is also when we started getting kinkier, so maybe he thought it was in. No, I'm just kidding. But it was like the weirdest experience because I didn't feel it at all. And then I was like walking back up the beach, and everybody was just like, and I was like, what? And my like husband at the time was like, just walk. And then I got to the hospital there, and he like threaded the needle to like put me back together, and then the power went out, and he was like, oh, I'm just gonna go eat my sandwich. It should be back on in a minute. And he like put the needle down, and I literally saw him sit down in the dark and just like eat like a turkey sandwich as I was just like bleeding and crying. But like he did a really good job.
See,
like,
holy shit! So you can see it. It's like your earlobe.
Yeah. And I was so conscious to wear my hair up for the longest time, but like it's like unless you're like
also
actually
that's the most badass story I've ever heard. Like of all like the types of scars to have, like I have one scar under my eyebrow, and it's the stupidest story. It's I opened up a cab door on it. I just opened a cab door really quick, and I didn't quite like. Were you drunk? No, not. I was on the way to get drunk. I was totally sober.
Wow.
And it's funny because the same thing happened to me. It was like a big hit, and then I just went, I just bumped my head, and then I get in, and he's like, whoa, and then I felt what felt like water gushing down my head, and it was blood.
Yeah.
And I went and got stitches.
Yeah, like when I got out, I was like, well, I'm just like wet, and then I looked, and there was just like red.
Holy, dude, that's fucking crazy.
And something that really made me laugh is like I came back and I had all these stitches in my ear.
Yeah.
And I was at like Safeway or something, and this girl was like, I love your piercings.
I was just gonna ask, can you get piercings with that or no? Like, is it recommended?
Well, I'm probably allergic to most metals anyway. So
are ya?
Yeah, that's not a thing I do. Yeah, that's why my wedding ring is wooden.
Oh, yeah. Gee, the fucking things I'm learning about you. I feel like we could keep going, and I would learn 1,000 more things. This is
a deep pot.
You are quite the woman, I gotta say. All jokes aside, I fucking love you.
I love you too.
Please,
I'm so glad we're friends.
Tell everybody, like, can they follow you on social media? Like, are you doing any mics coming up that we should stay tuned for?
I'm really bad at updating social media, but yeah, you can follow me if you want to.
Yeah, and well, you gotta follow Tongue in Cheek because
we're doing another show. I really want to do. Like Adrian and I really need to have a meeting.
This is like the notice. Adrian. Meeting.
But, like, I really want to do like a May the 4th, like dorky, like cosplay, like striptease kind of thing.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
I still have my Stormtrooper helmet from the musical I did, and I want to build like a whole like tearaway costume. It's gonna be a thing.
And like Star Wars like pasties.
Yes.
When you were talking about pasties earlier, I just thought of the best idea. We should have like a girls' night sleepover situation and call it a pasty party and wear pasties.
Nice.
I think we should do it. You know how people do like the pajama parties? I'm like, no,
pasty
pasties.
Parties.
Or like we should like make our own pasties. I really want like a bedazzled pasty.
Yeah,
that would be so
totally
fun.
Do that.
Right?
I don't know like what you would use for like the sticking part though, because it has to be like sticky but not sticky enough to be painful.
I bet you Amazon might
like have something for that.
Did we just come across a business idea?
Maybe.
Like if they sold plain pasties
that you could do. Like instead of paint night, pasty night?
Yes!
That's so much better.
That's something I would 100% do.
At one of the burlesque shows I went to, there was a girl who did a Bob's Burgers striptease, and her pasties were pickles.
That's unreal.
It's amazing.
Well, I would say like one of my favorite performances from your tongue-in-cheek show was Miss Shapen when she did the food one.
Yeah.
And she stripped down and it was 2 eggs.
And then the bacon.
And I remember just going, that's the greatest thing I've probably ever seen.
Yeah. Miss Shapen is very, very good.
I love her. I'd like to have her back on too. Just get her knowledge on life.
She's such like a sweet, like...
All those girls were. They were all so great. Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I love you so much.
We should probably wrap this up.
We're going to wrap this up before...
such a long episode.
This is going to be a long one, but that's okay because this was fucking fantastic and I love you so much. And thanks so much for coming on.
Of course.
And I don't have my fucking bell, but we're going to pretend to ring a bell.
Okay.
Somehow. Maybe I'll Photoshop it in.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. To ring that bell.
This is how I do sex.
Maybe I'll put something in. I love that. Oh, Alva, that was amazing.
You're awesome. Thank you for having me.
Holy.
Your podcast is awesome. I'm glad your live show went well.
Oh,
if you're not, if you're listening and you're like, I don't know if I should follow this shit.